Hey, this is Jonathan with the PyCalendar team, and I'm excited to bring you the latest update to PyCalendar Pro, which introduces new features that are both highly requested. We're going to take a look at each of the two new views, as well as the brand new duration control, so make sure you stick around to the end. The first view is a month list with image view, which you can see on your screen here. This is highly requested so that you can include your events featured image along with all the other data, and everything looks just absolutely beautiful. In my opinion, this is by far the prettiest and most usable view that we've ever introduced for PyCalendar. So as you can see, we are just looking at events in the month of August. So we have two events on August 23rd, and they're grouped nicely together with the day heading up here, as well as the start and end time, the post title, the post excerpt or content, and then the post featured image. So if we just look in the back here, the early release day post, there's all that same information, the title, the description, the image, and then of course we have our calendar properties over here. So we've set this to show on calendar for August 23rd at 2 p.m. And that's exactly what is represented here. Now, this website is set to Eastern time, and my current local time is Central time, which is why I'm seeing the event at 1 p.m. and not 2 p.m. So the calendar automatically adjusts to your local visitor's time, which of course you can disable if you don't want that. Then, of course, down here we have the next event, which happens to be on August 30th, and that's our end of summer holiday. If we return to the backend and go to our events page, we can see that the block editor preview in the backend looks exactly as it does on the front end, which is great. You get a direct visual representation in the backend of what you're going to see on the front end, so we're super proud of that as well. Now, looking at the block again, in this view dropdown, we can see that there's the month list with image that we were just looking at, as well as the list upcoming view. And this looks similar to some of our other list views, but there's a really special addition to both of these two new views. So this list upcoming view is just much more compact, very similar in nature to the list with image view that we just looked at. But like I said, much more compact for situations where maybe you just don't need the image or space is limited on your website. But the especially cool thing is this duration attribute. So if you look over here in the right-hand sidebar, it has the number 1, which is of course the default to just display this 1 month. Now, what we could do is change this up to 3 months, for example, and it's going to bring in events that are within the next 3 months. So we can see that October 22nd, we have a crawfish bash, and then we could even crank this all the way up to, something like 6 months and see things through the end of the year, all the way into January of 2026, which is super awesome. Now, like I said, this same duration attribute also works on the month list with image. So if we come back here, before we only saw events in the month of August, but we can also see them now down into October, December, and January, all of which have their event data just as you'd expect. So let's save this, and we can take a look on the front end and refresh. Then here at the top, you can see that because we've set that duration attribute to 6 months, the heading at the top says we're seeing events between August 2025 all the way through to January of 2026. So if we scroll down, we can see exactly what we just saw in the back end here on the front end. So this is just an absolutely beautiful way to display your events to your visitors and group everything really nicely so it all looks perfect. Of course, you could let them switch to the list upcoming view if you just want to see these. And both of these views, as well as the duration attribute, are available with the shortcode, so you're not required to use the block to get these specific features. So to quickly recap, this update brings these two new views that both support the duration attribute, and between these two things, we hope that PyCalendar becomes even more usable and flexible for you than it already was. We're also really proud to be able to deliver on some of our most highly requested features, so we look forward to hearing your feedback, and we can't wait to see this live on your websites in the future. As always, thank you so much for your support of PyCalendar and for watching this video. Until next time, we'll see you then.